one of your new friends, one of the new...
Yes, friends.
Yes, whose name is Andika. Andika is asking, you know, she's saying, you know, thank you, and we would you be so kind as to gaze upon our offering to the little good God, good little God.
Sure, yes.
And they gather about and unwrap a carefully preserved or a carefully carried item. They unwrap it and look at you. Open the box, and it's a little tiny statue, about this big, of a little frog. And they say, "We have brought the peace frog. We have brought the peace frog that may it find shelter in the loving light of the little good God. We've heard of you and over, and we are powerless, and we are, you know, but we are very brave and we are very hopeful, and we think that the peace frog will grow and will be bathed in the power of the little good God."
Bless your heart.
Right.
I take the frog and
You
go
know,
over.
Over's like, sure. So we have a little frog next to that. Why not? What next? Right? So, but he's very gracious. He's, you know, woken up in the middle of the night, is, you know, concerned to know. He wants to know what happened, and he's very interested in you know, in welcoming these people, and asks if they could be housed in the place you and your friends have cleaned out. And let's see here. I also think that they explain that they actually came because the center of Munificence has a branch out in their villages where they come from, outside of the city. And they were very concerned that the center may not have been, you know, the benefit to the village that it had been promised. And so they were going to bring the peace frog to the center to see if they could influence the center to have a better policy. On the way, they heard about the little good God and were very excited. But they were shy, so they found a place to stay, you know, and just squatted in this abandoned place, and are very lucky that you did not find their chewed corpses in the morning. You know, whoever found us, you know, thank you for the powers that brought you to us. What's your wisdom?
It is 11.
Not high enough to get the kind of information that our high wisdom characters get, but enough for you to say, does that mean that the little good God is getting kind of a reputation and becoming attractive to worshippers? So they will either now or later. I mean, do you want to just put them to bed and give them a cup of tea or something, and put them to bed and talk to them in the morning? Or okay.
I warn us to stay away from my creepy house so don't get mauled by baboons. You probably should stay away from the big creepy house in case of baboon.
Right, I see. Okay, yeah, don't go in there. We're still I can say Hork saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna bless that place soon."
No, you're not. Not in my watch.
Something about that is it's got this off message somehow. Right. And so that's fine. And the one thing that Willibroad, one of the young men, says is that that's okay. That's great. We'll go to the center in the morning. We'll go talk to them in the morning.
Good plan. Go for it.
All right. So we have that. We have. Note here and note here and.
By the way, Alexian, weren't you afraid of the house?
No.
No, you
He attracts.
Interesting.
Focus on saving the people instead. That's what I say, not what I think.
Got it. All right. Well, I personally think that we should just alternate a bit. I mean, you're busy.
Yep.
We need to address this.
Yep.
So we'll just handle this first round,
Sure.
shall we? I believe you guys had initiative. Was that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that means your goblins are prepared as these fellows come out of the water. And in fact, it's a little terrifying the way that the attack. Only a couple of them can attack. And they actually are leaping out of the water,
Okay.
spring up to. They're apparently very good at this, and they do not hit their heads on the ceiling. But they leap up and come down with short spears and flying knives upon the pack of you, like right onto you from the top. It's quite scary. Fortunately, it's also going to give them +1 to hit. And so but however, perhaps your goblins can hit them first. In this confined space, I am pleased to say that this is goblin land. They love fighting in confined space and will do things like jump on each other and jump off, for purposes of tactical fighting. So therefore, more of them can hit than you would think if they were just lined up. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
How many goblins do you have?
Let's say 3. There were 4 of them. I don't know if everyone came with me.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, one golden.
Okay,
Yeah,
and one.
sure.
The
more the merrier.
You were just thinking to yourself, that means more attack hit.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
They are leaping up and attacking. Let's get some goblin hits in there.
Yep.
And I was just looking for your goblins. So let me keep. Go ahead.
How much? What's
Oh,
your roll?
oh, sorry. Yes. Forgot, you're not looking at your sheet. Yeah, you need goblin sheets.
Yeah, probably.
+10 to hit? Really?
6. They need to roll a 14 or higher.
Yep. 12. 14. And the last one, 8. No.
Okay. So, one has hit, and please feel free to roll your damage, which for a goblin, why do I keep putting this away? Is 1 to 6, or by weapon. Well, 1 to 6, short swordish.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's with D6. 4.
Okay. So one of the bully ones was not very big and is going to be punctured by a goblin.
Front. Exactly. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. I went there.
Is that an experience point bonus or penalty?
Why not both?
Riddle did not win.
Okay. And so then the bullywugs are going to be. I said 2 could get in there.
Yeah.
So only 1 gets an attack. And so it's to hit on the goblins. I believe we're also in that sort of zone of armor class. 13 or higher. 11. Okay, so, but then the other bullywugs are coming in.
Yeah.
And actually it had that +1, so that meant that it got a 12.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the goblins are busy scrambling. You can't quite tell which goblin is where at any point. However, the bullywugs have the advantage because they are coming along the water and coming up next to you and all other things like that. It's not good.
No.
So, matter of fact, I think 1 is going to come in on you.
Yeah, why not? 6
And rolls a 2.
Yeah.
So, right, you have, exactly. And then your spell will go off.
Yeah. Turning the water into.
At the end of the round, right, it will go off. So the round will begin with the water suddenly becoming stinking. I believe what's some of the language it uses there? I'm curious. Putrid.
Yeah, putrid purifies food and drink, even spoiling holy water. So not suitable. I guess it's not suitable for consumption because the description is purify. So you have to do it the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Doesn't it say, what does it say exactly? It says,
well, purify will make spoiled, rotten, or poisonous, otherwise contaminated food and water pure. So I guess it's the other way around.
Going to make it
the other way around.
all
Spoiled,
those
rotten,
things.
Yeah, and poisonous.
And poisonous.
That's nice.
Perhaps.
Yep. They're having a bad time, hopefully. Unless there's some poison resist.
Create poison like that. I'm not quite sure this is like the equivalent of monster poison.
No.
But I'm gonna have them save anyway.
Yep.
And so monsters save as fighters against poison, so 16 or higher. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them.
That's too many.
Another one?
No, that's fine. There are 6 of them. What did I say? 16 or higher?
16 or higher.
17.
Good mind.
The rest squeal, shriek in horror, try to retreat. The water flows down on them and are driven, are driven back. And except for 1, who I'm sad to say has to be the biggest one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah, of course it does. And so let's see here. That's purple. Are those all yours?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, fantastic. So I have to do a morale check, obviously.
Yep.
%. No, 10%. That's bad. 50%, 15%. Leader is not slain or deserted, so that doesn't count. Friend killed.
Yep.
Taking casualties without receiving any. +20. +50. That makes 139 out of 100.
Okay.
51% or greater, surrender.
Another one.
You're making a lot of friends.
they gibber and squeal and throw themselves upon your mercy because they can't go back in the water flow. And they can't come up out of the water except into the knives of the goblins.
Yeah.
So they're pulling themselves up out of the water and, you know, begging for their lives.
This is great.
Except for the big one.
Okay, this is still. He needs a shove.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, as we continue. All I've got is foul food and drink. What can I do?
17 massive success.
What was that? 7?
Did not see that coming. Okay.
7.
I just asked what spells you had, that's all, and then I checked your wisdom to see if that would make sense. That's all. Okay. Now,
Sweet.
will the group of you, after a discussion in the morning, the question is whether it's a good idea to let this pack of naive, well-meaning youngsters into the center of universal munificence, which, as you know, is full of lethal insectoids, and has an ambiguous attitude toward you guys right now, at best. And during this discussion, things are complicated slightly by no other person besides where did she go? What's her name? Jukia herself has come to visit.
That lady who I wanted to chop her head off, right?
Exactly. She comes to visit.
That's how I remember people.
Mm-hmm. And although she has a sinister looking bug on her shoulder, which she seems to think is normal, has come to say that she has been thinking things over. And that upon reflection, she has realized that perhaps being elevated to priestess so rapidly and unexpectedly had sort of clouded her judgment. And she's wondering whether the ideals of her faith may have been twisted by outside influence who have been using it for their own gain. And while it is only natural to breed, grow, reproduce, eat, expand, and swarm, and if money can't help but do that, then I guess it just has to. She gets all that. But that doesn't mean she should be basically feeding it all to people. She's come to think that maybe some ideological redirection, maybe money can be used for good, maybe the accumulation of money can be used for good. So she wants to see if there can be a different kind of, if not a whole merger like she was thinking, because it's still all about merging as far as she's concerned, right? I mean, we can sort of expand, you can become part of us. But maybe it can be a little more, what's the word she's looking for? When you do good, when it works out well for one party and then it works out well for the other party. And she's saying, but she's looking for a religious word for it and she doesn't have one. Mutualism is not in her theological vocabulary. So she's kind of searching for that. Over is quite interested in this and wants to know all of your opinions. He says this is very complicated in this city.